Well, let's go ahead and move on now into some altcoins. We're going to look at Theta, but first we are going to go ahead and jump on over to CoinMarketCap. I can speak. It's almost my job, isn't it? Let's go ahead and take a look at Theta Network. Theta is a cryptocurrency that deals with video, which is a really interesting project. They've got a lot of great strategic partnerships going on, worth about $4 billion in market capitalization, also worth about $4 because it's got a billion Theta. That's always really helpful whenever there's a whole number that starts with one that just has a bunch of zeros behind it. So the market cap and the price line up, that's always cool. So Theta has a billion in circulating supply. It's worth $4. And if we take a look over here, it's its price action, you're going to see something very interesting. Theta, we drew these support levels on Theta like a month ago, saying that $2.50 to $2.64 was going to be a big level of support, and that's exactly where Theta just bounced. It has come down to and bounced off of that level, and that's great. Super excited about that for anybody who is in Theta. Just like Ethereum and everything, it bounced around January the 24th. It's already rallied 74%. A lot of bullish pressure coming in there, and if we take a look at some of our technical analysis here, we can see that there's a buy signal on Lux Algo. You see, I'm doing the very similar technical analysis on all these altcoins because they're all following each other. So we just want to see how they all line up and compare against each other. Out on the 3-daily chart, bullish MACD cross coming in. Boom, love it, guys. Sitting above the 14 interval RSI moving average on the 3-daily chart. That's bullish. Wonderful. Now, it's going to be kind of hard for Theta to get a bullish Lux Algo buy signal, because trend catcher sitting all the way up here at $5, we'd probably need to go about 10% above trend catcher to get trend catcher green, and to get the buy signal, we'll probably see that before. So what we're going to need to see, Theta needs to rally up here to about $4.50 to get a green buy signal, and then it's probably going to need to rally to about $5.50 to get trend catcher green. But from there, guys, if it goes up to $5.50, you could very well see a Theta price moving all the way up here into its reversal zone, up towards $9, $10, or even $11. So, Kelly, I want to hear your thoughts on Theta. I know you know, I think you know a little bit about the project. You've talked about it some. So what's the project, and what are you thinking about its price right now?
Well, it's a great project. They're definitely butting their heads up against a massive wall, and that is the incredibly large user base that YouTube has. Mm-hmm. You know, and so what they're aiming to do, it's different than Rumble, but in the same sort of context, they're trying to create a decentralized streaming services, streaming platform, or hosting, so you can not have this censorship sort of that you deal with on YouTube. You know, even as sometimes talking about the disease which may not be named. You know, it's silly that we can't talk about something in popular culture without worried about getting flagged, when all we're talking about is how it relates to the crypto market. You know, no opinions about one way or the other. And so when you have projects like Theta and Rumble and these other decentralized projects, essentially, it's an incredibly wonderful notion. But my question is, how long is the investment play going to be on that? Because there's no telling how long it's going to take for them to get a sizable market share. But in terms of shorter term investing, as the project ebbs and flows and news comes in and out, I do think it is a good investment. But again, do your diligence. And one of the tenets that I like to say to anybody, don't just try to look at all these projects and try to figure out specifically, unless you're an active trader that looks at all the information all the time, don't try to just buy something to flip something to make money. Pick the coins, pick the projects that you have some sort of passionate interest in, something that you really care about, because it's a lot easier to follow along with the project details if you care about what the hell they're doing. Yeah. So that's what I got to say about it, and I think it's going to be riding the wave along with the other altcoins that are within that sort of a market cap grouping.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and move on here to Polkadot. Just had a logo update. If you didn't notice that happened a few weeks ago. They're currently sitting at $21 billion market capitalization. And jumping over to the chart, we're going to see that DOT is in a very interesting place right now. We have a long-term uptrending level of support that DOT has been respecting for the last couple of years. We have a touch back here going to November of 2020 and a touch right here in mid-July of 2021. We've also bounced there recently, and that has shown us that DOT was ready to have a pretty large bounce. It's bounced 38%. Not as large as Theta, but it has had a pretty decently sized bounce. Polkadot is a great project because it is the leader in layer 0 interoperability protocols. Basically what that means, Polkadot is trying to tie together and stitch together all these different projects that work with different coding languages and are on different blockchains like Ethereum and Cardano and Avalanche and all this stuff. They're trying to pull all of that together into one almost internet of cryptocurrencies. So it's a really interesting project. It's infrastructure at its core, which is what I love. I love investing in infrastructure. I love investing in infrastructure like Cardano and like Ethereum and like Bitcoin. These are all things that other things are built on top of. So I like investing in something that other things are built on. Not so much the end product. I much rather would invest in, Walmart than in a candy bar that Walmart sells. I would much rather invest in a Cardano than a decentralized application on Cardano, because whenever you build a decentralized application on Cardano, Cardano gets some of that value, so you might as well just invest in the underlying infrastructure. That's kind of what Polkadot is. It's actually the underlying infrastructure to the underlying infrastructure. That's why it's so interesting. As far as the price is concerned, going to run through this very quickly. No buy signal on the 3 daily chart. There is a confirmed buy signal on the daily chart, but Polkadot is looking a little bit anemic. Going to be honest with you, the last 4 days, we're actually down 4%. That's not what we're seeing happen on projects like Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is currently sitting at a local high. In fact, we just turned, if we close this candlestick up here on Bitcoin, we'll be on a strong buy signal instead of a weak one. So Bitcoin's doing pretty well, but Polkadot, on the other hand, is struggling a little bit, namely because of the fact that we are seeing a lot of people focused on other projects right now. There's a lot of people that are investing in other projects right now, and Polkadot's kind of getting left in the dust a little bit. That's why we saw it drop down to rank 11. If I remember correctly, on Tuesday, the last time I was here, it was up at rank 10, and Avalanche was ranked number 11, and they flipped each other. So there is a lot of exuberance going into Avalanche and not a lot going into Polkadot. I think part of the reason that might be happening is because Polkadot is the kind of cryptocurrency just to kind of sit back, develop their stuff, build their product, not make a bunch of waves, and then let the price follow the fundamentals, which is one of the reasons I like Polkadot, but it does mean that you might not see this explosive rally like you will see on some of these other projects. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and do a very brief look at AVAX, Avalanche. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that because it did jump over Polkadot. A lot of you guys are asking about Avalanche, up 35% in the last 7 days. We're going to be brief here, but I do like this project, and I want to show it to you.
I know they also, there's a huge headline that came out as well, and this is why it's good to go check a DeFi Llama pretty regularly. They eclipsed over 10 billion in total TVL, total value.
Oh wow, I didn't know
that. Which is a massive
that's
achievement.
A huge amount of TVL. So yeah, guys, that's a really big development on Avalanche, and another big development on Avalanche is that in the last 19 days, we have seen it rally 70%, and it's approaching that level of $100 that I told you guys I want to see it get above. If I see Avalanche get above $100, I am going to probably buy some, just because that would be confirmation that I would think we're going back to all-time high, so long as the rest of the market allows. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, you should definitely consider subscribing, because we're trying to help you become financially free in these cryptocurrency markets. And also, consider following us on Twitter @CryptoJeb for more updates on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Peace.